So oftentimes you as a man will start dating a woman, you think everything's going well, and then she suddenly says to you, hey, I'm not ready for this relationship, or I met someone else, or you're such a great guy, I hope you find someone who's good for you, but it's not me, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe she just ghosts you. But the point is this, that is not always because of you as a person. That is not always a personal problem. That is a behavioral problem or a core problem that we're gonna address today so that if that's something that you're doing wrong, you can change it. Women are not simple like men. They are simple in a sense, but not really like men. So a lot of the times what they say is not exactly what they mean, and I know it's confusing and I am sorry. And today I'm going to be showing you how you can fix those things, how you can understand women. So let's get right into it. The first possibility is this, okay? She might have just not felt you. What does that mean? Well, sometimes a woman gets to know a guy and initially she might think, okay, he's cool, or let's see where this goes. And maybe for some reason or another, she just didn't really find you attractive, or she just didn't really feel you. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's something that's fixable. It could have just been that you guys have different interests, you guys have different goals. She realized that you weren't someone she would find herself attracted to long term. You might have had something that she didn't really like, but it doesn't necessarily mean it was you personally. What you can take away from this is that rejection is not always a personal problem. Rejection is often just redirection. And I mean that. Rejection sometimes just means, okay, we didn't click on a personal level, and women know very quickly if you're gonna be someone she can commit to long term or not. So a woman very early on saying to you, hey, it's not gonna work, is not necessarily your problem. It sometimes just means that she realized you're not someone she can be loyal to, commit to, be faithful to, and love and respect long term. Maybe it's just because you guys are completely different in where you are at life. Maybe it's because you guys have different goals, different wants, different needs. This is not necessarily something bad. This just means you need to focus on finding someone who is aligned with what you want long term. If you want kids and a family and she doesn't, don't date her. That's a waste of time. If you want to make a lot of money and you're ambitious, do not date a lazy girl who doesn't care about any of that, okay? Date someone who's kind of similar on your level, or someone who's willing to come up to your level and work with you and become someone with you. The second point is this, and I know this is a bit controversial, but she might have felt a little bit too weird with you because you were trying too hard to make her safe. What does this mean? Oftentimes when a guy starts dating a girl, he'll go in two directions. Either he will not make her safe at all, which means he's not emotionally present, which means he doesn't take care of her, which means he neglects her needs. And these are all very obvious reasons as to why a girl would leave you. But the opposite is also true. If you're making her feel too safe, in other words, if you're doing everything for her, you're always there for her, you're never taking care of yourself anymore, you are making yourself forgettable. You as a man need to understand that while you need to be there for her, if you cannot be there for yourself, there's no way you're gonna be able to be there for her. So take care of yourself first as a man. Don't make yourself forgettable, because if you make yourself forgettable, she's gonna forget you and move on. Women want novelty. Women want excitement. You need to be exciting, which means you take care of her, but you also tell her, hey, tonight you're gonna stay home and I gotta work. And that's just the way it is. Make her life interesting. Make your life interesting. Don't just abide to every single one of her needs and try to do everything that she wants, because I can guarantee you she's not gonna find that attractive. She's gonna be like, oh, you know, he's always there. Okay, well, he's so predictable. You don't wanna be super predictable as a man, okay? You wanna be a man who is not selfish, but who is selfish. You wanna be a man who knows what's best for her by becoming what's best for you. Because here's the trick. As a man, being the best version for someone means being the best version for yourself first. And that is someone who not everyone can predict. And that is someone who not everyone can achieve to be like, because you are unique. If you are always comforting her and you're always accommodating all of her needs, you're not being masculine anymore, which means you making her feel too safe again will just make her feel unsafe, because she's going to feel like, oh, but then if I really need something, he's not going to be able to take care of me because he's not working on himself, because he's always there for me. Do you see where I'm going with this? Stop being too safe. Stop always doing everything that she needs and wants, and start understanding that there is a balance between you doing what's good for her and what she needs based on what you think is best for her, and you also taking care of yourself and understanding that doing too much for her is going to hinder both of you, because it's going to hinder you, so it's going to be bad for your relationship. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, comment down below. The third point is this, and it's super obvious to many, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You talked too much and you led too little. Don't have a big mouth and make a bunch of promises and say, we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this for you, and I'm this, and I'm gonna make this much money, and blah, 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 because a woman never forgets. A woman will remember every single word you said. I can promise you. Women are very, very, very good listeners to what you say. And she listens, she's gonna listen to the details. So if you make big promises and big predictions as to who you're gonna be and who you guys are gonna be, and then that doesn't happen, she's gonna be like, okay, first of all, this guy is dishonest. Second of all, he lied and he pretended to be something he's not. And third of all, he's not actually that amazing because he can't achieve these things. If you don't set the standards to become that, she'll never know. So it's better to become successful and show her with results than to promise a bunch of things that you cannot deliver, because that is just unattractive to a woman, and she's gonna be like, well, then I'm gonna find what he promised me in someone else. So don't make a bunch of promises and predictions if you can't keep them. Only promise things that you know you're gonna be able to keep, and only promise if it's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, just show her. Say to her, hey, remember how we were talking about this a few months ago? Well, I did it, here's the results. And that's gonna make her love you and fall in love with you over and over again. Don't talk and not deliver, but deliver, lead her, go in a direction that you know is going to be best for the relationship. And remember that you are the man, so it is your responsibility to lead the relationship. If you're always talking and you're always daydreaming, you're not going to be leading. You're not going to be heading in a direction that's good for you guys. You have to stop talking and start acting. Get into your masculine, get out of your feminine, and understand, okay, I'm responsible for where we're going to go in life. It's on me. I need to shut up and I need to just get down and work. And I can guarantee when you do that, you will have a woman who will stay loyal to you and stay with you forever. But you gotta do it first. And the fourth point is this, and this is actually a little bit unfair, but it's the truth. A woman will always test her man. And if you fail the tests, she's gonna lose interest. What does a test look like? Well, if she's always trying to get your attention, and again, you're always available, that's a test. And that's her way of seeing, is this man someone who actually has goals and missions for his life? If not, if he's always available, then that's not something I want. Or she's gonna ask you, what have you done today? Because she wants to know, is this man working towards something? Is this man going places? Or is he sitting on his butt playing video games all day? Because I can guarantee you, if it's the second option, bye, she's gonna leave, okay? Be someone who she can respect. Be someone who's going places, and be someone who is hard to manipulate. Don't let a woman manipulate you. You gotta become better than that. You gotta know, okay, she's asking me these questions, which means she probably is either already knows the answer or she's gonna judge me based on the answer. So let me make sure I'm living a life that she can only admire and respect. And yes, it's all a game when it comes to women, but women are like that. If you wanna have the best type of woman, you gotta be the best type of man. Otherwise, you're gonna have to settle. And that is the truth. There's no point in complaining about it. There's no point in feeling bad about it, but if you want to be with a good woman, you got to become a good man. And that is just the way it is, which means you got to have direction, which means you got to go which means you got to be going places with your life, which means you got to be a hard worker, which means you have to stop being lazy, you have to stop procrastinating and work on yourself emotionally. There's so many things you gotta do, but it's totally worth it because you will end up with an amazing woman who you love, who you adore, who's willing to do anything for you, and who will make you a better, happier man. So work on yourself. Remember that that is the way the world works. If you're not gonna do those things for her, another man will. Remember that. So if you wanna become the best kind of man, you gotta remember these points today. Remember that a woman needs to be able to trust you, needs to be able to respect you, and needs to know that you know where you guys are going with your relationship and are going in life. So work on yourself first so that you're able to do that for yourself. And then remember, and then you'll be able to add her into your life much more easily and go in the same direction with you guys as a team. She didn't lose interest because of you as a person. She didn't lose interest because you're not enough as a man. She probably lost interest because there was something that didn't click. But now you know the point that women really care about. Now you know what you need to do to become a man that a woman will respect. And now you know what you need to do in order to keep the next woman. So write down these 4 points and remember that you're a capable man. You can achieve anything you set your mind to do. You're not broken. You're not lost. And just because you've had a past failed relationship doesn't mean it's gonna happen again. If this opened your eyes, let me know down below and stay tuned for the next video coming out very soon. I hope you have a great day and remember that you've got this.